Hey, we live here tonight, guys. I want to let you know this is going to be unique. We had a little equipment change here, and I'm going to be on an iPhone tonight, and so if it looks a little different, it looks a little crazy, you're not nuts, and I'm way better looking than the iPhone is making me look right now, so it's going to be really, really good. I'm going to speak to you tonight on favorable traits of leaders, and you may have never been called a leader. You may not see yourself as a leader. No one in college may have said, you got leadership gifts. Your dad may have never announced over your life that you were a leader. But I will tell you, if you're breathing, you are a leader. You're leading. You're leading in ways that you have no idea. And leaders do the right thing at the right time for the right reason in the right way. Leaders do the right thing at the right time for the right reason in the right way. I want to just give you a few unfavorable traits of leaders that we want to stay away from. So if you've got an iPad or a smartphone or a piece of paper, I'm still a pen and paper guy, okay? But all you others, you're so advanced. I know you can do it on all your smart devices. But let me give you some unfavorable things that you want to stay away from. I'm not going to stay here. There's just a few of them. But I just want to encourage you in the beginning of this, before we give you the ones that really will make a difference. I will tell you these will make a difference, but in the wrong way. Number one is unwillingness to change. All great leaders create positive change. And I want to give you a little bit of homework right up front. In your company, in your life, in your home, in your personal life right now, where are you not willing to change? Are you willing to change? The next one is indecisive. You just can't make a decision. You just get so frozen by overanalyzation and by fear that you can't make a decision. These are not favorable, they're very unfavorable. The next one is apathetic. By the way, of all the things that people want from a leader, passion is very high on the list. So if you're apathetic in your body language, you sit in a room and you're just like unplugged, I'm not really there, apathetic. Have you ever talked to somebody and they were apathetic?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Men, have of an opinion, make sure you do homework on it, and then let's watch and see what happens. The next one is the lack of integrity. This is very unfavorable because you don't ever get trust in an organization. The next one, by the way, I could talk on each one of these for a half hour. I won't do it. But the next one is poor communication. If you don't have good communication skills, if you can't say what you mean in a way that people can understand it, buy into it, feel moved by it, you're going to be in a world of hurt. Communication. Anytime you communicate to a group of people, you want to let them know three things. Number one, what I want you to know. Number two is what I want you to do. And number three is how I want you to feel. I want you to feel. You always want to make people feel respected and honored, understood, and where you absolutely get in step with them. Now they feel unified with you. So, what does good leadership look like? And what are the essential leadership traits that you need to have in your life? Based on decades and decades of research, they have found out that the best leaders in the world consistently possess for certain fundamentals and qualities and skills. They have things about them that cause them to be attractive, and they attract others. What are those leadership traits? What are leadership traits? Leadership traits are essential qualities that make effective leaders in the workplace, in the home, at church, wherever you go, on your team, in your department, in your company. These traits empower you and allow you to go out and build projects and get things done. By the way, leadership is about getting things done. How well do you do at getting things done? Are you a drain? Are you a drag? Are you somebody that we've got to pick you up and we've got to keep moving? Or are you somebody that's out in front of it? You're doing your homework. You're out there and you're ready to go. I want you to write down somewhere in your notes tonight, I will be the best at the basics in what I do. Nobody will be better than me at basics. So, to become an effective leader, you should strive to become an expert in your field, the best at what you do. And you need to cultivate these essential qualities in your life in order for you to not only get your own leadership going, but to attract other leaders and to build those other leaders. Now, I want you to, you already heard this, but I want you to hear it again. You teach what you know, but you reproduce what you are. In your life, you teach what you know, but you reproduce what you are. A lot of times I see leaders trying to teach what they don't do. I see them try to tell others to do what they're not doing. I would just tell you, leaders, that will weaken your leadership so quick. You have no idea. People around you that you're leading, the leaders that you're developing, the leaders that you're leading, would rather you be real than right. So if you don't know, don't be afraid to say, I do not know. All right, here are the traits. We're going to go fast so we get this done in a half hour. By the way, I hope you're doing amazing. We have our fall bash tomorrow night at G5. If you're close, come on out. We're going to have a blast, and it's going to be an amazing time. I'm so honored if you're brand new. I'm so honored to have you on the call tonight. I know we got a lot of guys all over the world that literally are plugging into this, and you've got other people plugged in. I want to challenge you right here, right now, to take leadership and invite at least 10 guys to get on this call with you, okay? And we're going to have a blast. Number one is accountability. The best leaders take full responsibility. They just do. And they take responsibility not only for themselves, but for their team's performance. In your life right now, accountability means as a leader, I will take responsibility. You don't have to look past me. The buck stops with me. Whether good things happen, whether we reach our goals or not reach our goals, I'm going to take full responsibility. I'm accountable to people around me. As a leader, you should aim to raise your team where they perform well and provide incredible feedback to you. If somebody is not doing a good job, I don't believe in using criticism. I do believe in using coaching, where I say, hey guys, we're better than that. We can do better than that. So let's raise the bar and get this done. It's also important for you to be able, when you're leading in your accountability and responsibility, is to get feedback from qualified people. Don't take criticism or even from coaching from people that are not doing what you want to do. Find people that are winning the way you want to win and plug into them. Take responsibility when you've made a bad decision, when you've done something unfavorable. We are all human and we're all going to make mistakes, guys. By the way, as a leader, if you're in the middle of the battle, the worst thing you can do is start evaluating and trying to correct. Right now, let's just fix. Let's get moving and watch what happens. So make a point of serving in this area of responsibility and accountability as a role model to your team, that they will then become more accountable. You have no idea how much freedom is in accountability. There's nothing more confusing and nothing that doesn't bear fruit more than an unexamined life, an unexamined leadership. Be willing to say, come and look, give me feedback. The second is adaptability, the ability to stay flexible. You experienced leaders understand that plans and schedules and goals can change at any time. To become a great leader, you have to become adaptable. You have to become flexible. The definition of adaptability is the quality of being able to adjust to new conditions. That's so incredibly important. Sometimes if you're so rigid, then you're not being able to be flexible enough to win. You got to be able to change directions. You got to be willing and quickly on your feet to take a different opportunity, a different direction if you need to. I love this definition too. The capacity to be modified for a new use or purpose. Adaptable. Are you willing to reinvent yourself? Are you willing to become what you need to become? Are you able right now to deal with setbacks, with things that are not positive in your life? Let me ask you a question just for a second. If something goes wrong and it doesn't go as planned, do you just give up and go home? Or do you stay in the battle? Do you get negative? Do you start feeling like a victim? Or do you stand up and fight for your dream? Overcoming unexpected challenges are so critical in your leadership. And what most of us do is we resist things that are going wrong instead of stepping into it and almost using the negativity as a positive thing in our lives. I just said a lot. You're going to have to go back and listen to that again. The third thing is confidence. As a key figure in your company or in your team, a leader should demonstrate confidence to instill motivation. When you're confident, you give people conviction and you give them courage. When you're confident, you give people conviction and courage. Leaders that have these qualities, this quality of confidence, tend in their lives to build trust quicker than leaders that don't have confidence. So in your life right now, the confidence is the feeling or the belief that one can rely on someone or something, and it's earned with trust. I want to give you that definition of confidence one more time. Confidence is not arrogance. Confidence is not ego. Confidence is when you give people the feeling or the belief that they can rely on you or something that you're doing. In your life right now, the more confidence you have, and knowing that I'm going to get the job done. That's why I want you to be the best at what you do. Whatever you do right now, I want you to be the best at it. Don't try to just get there halfway or 3/4 of the way. Be the best at what you do. And I'm begging you right now, you'll never have confidence doing the minimums. Wow. You'll never have confidence. Confidence is going the extra mile. Confidence is being tested and tried and realizing I can get through it. Confidence is the state of feeling certain about the truth of something. Confidence is the state of feeling certain about the truth of something, just in your life. Can I tell you something, dads? And moms, you know this too if you're on the calls tonight. When our kids were small, Blake and Bree, I used to have them jump off of things and jump into my arms. And it was amazing to watch them. At first they would kind of be wondering, but they had such confidence that their daddy was going to catch them. The state of feeling certain about the truth. You and I right now are being tested. Can I believe in you? Will you be there for me? And so in your leadership, be confident and watch what happens. Now, can I tell you? You build confidence in your life by practicing and by preparing. The more prepared you are, the world belongs to the prepared. So right now, you're all being prepared for something. It's greater than what you're presently doing. I don't care if you're doing 10 million a week, 100 million a week, or $1 billion a week. There's something bigger coming, and you right now are being trained for it. But if you let your little mind control your big future, you will always make choices to stay small, to control it, versus having the confidence to believe, no, I'm going to step out. The fourth is creativity. The best leaders rarely follow pathways or copy the routes other people take. They see and they go, no, here's what we can do. It's not that you're trying to get a shortcut. This is what you're doing. You're trying to be more effective and more efficient in your life. Effective and efficient. Creativity causes you to be more effective and more efficient. There's nothing worse in life than losing motivation and inspiration because I keep myself from being creative in my life. Embrace new ways of thinking. Don't be afraid to think differently, to look at your life. Here's what I can tell you. I say it over and over again. I'm going to say it to you right now. What you know is keeping you from knowing what you need to know. So a leader should prioritize creativity in their life, and they need to practice at thinking outside their limitations. I'm going to let that sit there for a second. All of us on this call right now are limiting ourselves in some way. So here's what I want to encourage you to do. In your life, try to improve in your creativity. Try thinking different about solutions. Try thinking different about moving forwards in your plans. The fifth one is empathy. Every executive, every leader, every dad, every man, should honestly have empathy for other people around you. What do you mean, Tim? You should feel it like they feel it, and you should see it how they see it, even if the way they feel it and see it is wrong. Wow. Because now you can walk a mile in their shoes, and empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person. Empathy is so different than sympathy. Sympathy is when I just feel sorry for people. Empathy is when I feel what they feel and I'm able to share in their feelings. So in my team, with my wife, with my children, with my coworkers, with my teammates, even with my leader, I need to be able to understand. Sometimes we get mad at leaders because they make decisions we don't understand, but it's because you don't have all the other facts that they have. You're only seeing it in your little box. So, your dad and mom, I know you don't agree with them. I know you don't think they know anything. But I would just encourage you, always have empathy with them. To understand a team member is so critical as you're moving forward. Strengths, weaknesses, desires, motivations, and inspirations. I know I'm giving you a lot. There's a lot going in here, okay? Number 6 is this quality of being able to stay focused. Focused. More people fail from broken focus than any other single thing. Focus can help you handle possible distractions while achieving major victories in your life and major objectives. You'll be able to measure it. You'll be able to say, we did this in this amount of time. And it will be so incredible when you focus, when you pay attention, when you absolutely are paying attention to the details. You know the little things you don't think will get you? You know the little things that you don't think will slow you down? Be careful. They'll take you out. In your life, can you stay focused? Is your attention all over the place? Now, if you're like me, ADD, can I tell you? You really got to work at it. Come on. But don't ever let anybody use the excuse that I've got ADD and I can't focus. You can focus. You have to get rid of the distractions. And you cannot let the urgent get ahead of the important. Number 7 is positivity. Leaders use positivity to motivate, to just believe the best, to believe that we're going to make it. There's nothing that pours more cold water on a team or a meeting than somebody to just go off with a bunch of negativity. Come on. I just beg you in your life right now to be an effective leader. You should exhibit positivity during difficult situations. You need to tell everybody this. I know there's an obstacle, but it's not going to hold us back because we're going to destroy this obstacle and we're going to win this war and we're going to win it big. Positivity. Positivity Stay positive. It's the practice or being in a state of being very optimistic. Optimistic. There's pessimism and there's optimism. I beg you to work on it. Some of you are so naturally positive. You really are. You wake up and you just see the glass half full. You're like, man, we're halfway there. Some of you really have to really battle negativity. And it's just half empty. I've been working so hard and I'm not getting anywhere. You got to battle that. And as a leader, you really have got to walk in. Now, listen to me. You cannot lie to people and be so positive and tell them it's going to be easy when it's not going to be.
Right.
You can tell. I can positively tell you that we're going to get our heinies whooped, but we're going to win this thing, okay? We're going to be sore. We're going to be swollen. We're going to put more out than we think we're getting back. But I just want you to know we are going to win this war. So it's going to show up whether you're positive, negative. It's going to show up in your words and in your messaging.
Wow.
I really want to challenge you to be aware of how you're saying things. Because you can say things in a positive way or you can say things in a very negative way.
Yeah.
So just learn that. The 8th thing is risk-taking. And by the way, I'm not talking about doing stupid things. I'm talking about evaluated risk. But somebody's got to be willing what everybody else is saying can't be done.
Right.
And you're going to have to take a risk. It needs to be evaluated. All great leaders regularly encounter risk. But they know how to embrace a challenge and they know how to manage that risk so that they can absolutely go to a whole nother level. It's why right now I want to beg you to become a master at navigating risk, at learning how to assess and evaluate situations, and to learn so you can become very decisive and take the risk you need to make. Number 9 is stability. Wow, I cannot tell you how important this is. You have got to, you hear me say it over and over and over. I'm going to keep saying it, man. You have got to be predictable, dependable, and defendable. If you don't do that, you'll never build trust, and you'll never build a culture where people feel safe. In your home, you've got to be stable. The Word of God says, a double-minded man is unstable in all of their ways. You got to be right on it with that confidence. So, as you begin to see yourself, even though we are charged with the vision to create positive change, you've got to make people feel stable and nurtured through that process of change. Because change scares people. The first thing they think when something is going to change, you know what they think? What am I going to lose? So when you start to change, you've got to let people know we're going to be stable and here's the benefit for you doing this and getting where you need to go. The 10th trait that they love so much is in a great leader is that they're a team builder. They're not just trying to build their own career. They're not trying to just build themselves. They're not trying to get a spotlight on themselves. Even stronger leaders dedicate themselves to building a culture where it's a we mindset and not a me mindset. It's a team together, each achieving more. You know that already. So in your life right now, if you can learn how to bring collaboration, how you can bring all these different minds, all these different gifts, all these different personalities, all these different desires together and bring them and inspire them to work together, not against each other, a team. It's powerful to watch a team when it's led well to watch what happens. Every now and then I'll go and I will hear an orchestra. And when they're tuning up, when they're warming up, it is almost hard to listen to. You got strings going off and they're pounding the drums and sax are playing and the trumpets are blaring. And the next thing you know, a conductor, a leader gets up and taps. And then he starts. And now all these individuals become a team. And instead of it being something that's hard to listen to, it can invoke such emotion inside of you. Great leaders know how to do that. In your team meetings, in your training meetings, in your vision meetings, they just let people know we're going to build team. So one of the things we do in men's locker room, which I hope you'll become a part of it, is we always come together and we always celebrate for about the first 15 to 20 minutes. Tell us something good that's going on in your life.
Come on.
It doesn't have to be massive. It can be really simple. But can I tell you, most people in their lives have nobody to celebrate.
Right.
Leaders, we have a chance right now to do 3 things in our teams that will change the world. And I do this and I close. Number 1, we get to cast vision. A vision is a picture of tomorrow, today. If you don't have a vision for your life, you're not going to have a vision for your team. If you don't know where you want to go, you're going to end up just about anywhere. You've got to know where you're going. And if you don't have a clear vision, imagine getting on an airplane and flying. If they're 1 degree off, for the first 25 miles, it's not that bad. But by the time you get to destinations, 1 degree can hurt you. So I want to ask you, in your team, do you have a clear vision? What are you going to do in the next 90 days? What is the goal that you're going to reach? What is it that you're going to achieve in your life? The second thing is in celebrating. We have got to be able to celebrate. And I've talked that about a little bit. Most people don't have anybody in their life to celebrate with. Nobody. Good things happen. They don't have anybody to celebrate with them.
That's true.
They don't even feel like anybody's happy for them. Or they win in a company, and instead of celebrating with them, you know what they do? Well, you could have done more. Don't ever do this next thing, and that's challenge people until you first celebrated with them. Hey, it's great. What we've done so far is incredible. But I want to let you know we're going to celebrate that. But guess what's waiting on us? Leadership is about going somewhere. Leadership is about getting something done. So I want you to take these 10 traits and I want you to pour them in and I want you to measure them against the negative ones that you don't want to have in your life. You will get nowhere in your life if you continually have an unwillingness to change, if you're indecisive, if you lack accountability, if you're apathetic, if you lack integrity, and if you have poor communication. So I'm going to close with this. As a leader, it's so important that people know what you want them to do. It's so important. It's so important that you're able to express what you want them to know. But if you don't lead with this unbelievable truth, and that is, I can give you all the information in the world, and I can tell you what to do, but how I make you feel is the most important part. Because if you feel appreciated, if you feel loved, if you feel respected, if you feel honor, you know what I'm saying right now is true. And what I want to tell you is people will give you more than you could ever imagine if you're leading them, if you leave them feeling better after they leave you than they did before they got to you. Men, it's our time. What a great night to be on this call with you. I can't wait to see you next month. Let's keep charging. Let's keep building. Sorry, we had a few technical problems tonight, and so I'm coming on an iPhone to you. But hey, leaders don't let anything hold them back. They take advantage, full advantage. And by the way, it's not about us looking pretty. It's about us tonight. Hopefully, your heart feels challenged, your mind feels inspired, and that your soul is going, I'm energized and I've got some information, and I'm going to go make this happen in my life. Whatever you do, don't just write these down. Make them come alive in your life. And watch what happens. I love you. Charge. Go get them done. Rock and roll.